I can't believe that I'm actually doing another video on Spider-Man Lotus, but apparently Warren Wayne isn't the only person who's causing controversy. I've watched some videos and, I found out a few things, and like I said, everything could be hearsay. I don't know things for a fact, but I'm just going to give my opinion based on what I heard. You have 3 people involved in this mess. You have Gavin, who's the writer and director of the film. He's also a subscriber on my channel for a long time now. A 15-year-old named Matt, who's basically posted all the private and personal stuff on the internet because he wasn't comfortable with the situation. But look, he's just a kid and doesn't fully understand it. Pulling shit like this completely compromises what everyone who works so hard on this film in a world of cancel culture. You gotta watch out for that shit, because it could just ruin everything like that. Yeah, like Thanos snapping his finger. Your friggin' fan film or whatever project is gone. You can get fired too. That's in the entertainment industry, which is why celebs keep their mouth shut and just pretty much act like robots and just say, oh yeah, I'm in favor of this and that, not against it. Yet I am secretly, I just can't post about it. Anyway, I get that he thought that he was doing the right thing, but honestly, as I already discussed in my previous video, it's not like he himself or anyone in this world is perfect and has never in their life done the same shit on making a racist or homosexual comment, even if it was joking around. And the difference is that when you do things like that and it gets out publicly, it causes a massive fucking shitstorm and gives ammunition for people who disguise themselves on the internet playing keyboard fucking warriors like they have a license for it, and a chance to judge others and point fingers when they should have fingers pointing right back at them. Because it's just so much easier when your life isn't made public and you're hiding behind a computer. You can say whatever the fuck you want, nobody knows who you are. Hell, why do you think a lot of people on Facebook, they don't even use their real names? They change it because they're so scared shitless of their bosses finding out if they said something fucked up. They'll get you fired right on the spot. And the next issue that people have with Gavin, and this is ridiculous, is that he did not pay his storyboard artist for a non-profit fan film that's been getting donations from fans who want to support the film. Now, I don't know, and apparently no one clearly does know as to what the original deal was, or what the deal is for all we know. I mean, was the storyboard artist, promised to get paid, or was he already aware that there was no pay and everyone pretty much has to do volunteer work for a fucking fan film that's not making a fucking cent? Do you know how many times I had to work for free on film sets before, and instead of getting paid, I got fucking credit, which is actually fucking good to have on your resume? Hello? How the fuck do you not know this? This goes with any job that you have also. It's called internship. Well, you got fucking piss ants wouldn't know anything about that because you're not part of the entertainment industry, you dumb fucks. I swear, some of you are like fucking children. I've been dealing with fucking idiots all day in the comment section. Let me tell you, your education level seems to be really fucking low, or you're just plain fucking stupid. So why the fuck are you making judgments on things that no one clearly knows shit about to begin with? You're all pissing and moaning over bullshit. People just love to fucking troll, don't they? That's just what people love to do in general. They love to fucking look for trouble and start fights. For those who are claiming that because of this incident that you're gonna boycott the film and not watch it, you're clearly so fucking full of shit, because you're gonna be the first ones in line to watch it and then come on YouTube or whatever on social media and fucking bitch about it or praise it if it's actually good and forget about the bad shit and judgments you made on it. I mean, lastly, the other pussy-ass complaint is that Gavin worked the cast and crew too fucking hard. Oh my god, you guys really need to know how this shit works, because you fucking don't. I mean, seriously, honestly, raise your hand. Have any of you dumb fucks actually worked on a movie set in your life? And I don't mean to call anybody a dumb fuck. I'm just talking about the idiots who are giving me a fucking problem and are being bitches. That's who I'm referring to as dumb fucks. Y'all think it's fun? 15 hours a day of film shoots doing the same shit over and over again? You think that's fun? If you're having fun on a film set, okay, and like I said, Sam Raimi's a fun director. He likes to poke around with his actors and have a little bit of fun, but he's serious and professional sometimes, And look, if things are very fucking easy for you on set, well then your director's doing a fucking horrible job. That's like direct-to-DVD bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one's working, especially when the actor's like fucking saying cheesy lines and the acting is horrible. That's easy work for you there. The director, if he notices that someone's doing a shit job, he tells him, yo, do that shit over because it's cheesy as fuck. It's when things get hard and very professional that the film does very well. And judging from what I saw in that trailer, it is well worth the hard work. Because honestly, that Spider-Man Lotus trailer is way better than what I saw within 2 hours of Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. Even though I fucking despise Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home was an improvement, it still was a shit show. Because now we finally have someone who gets how Spider-Man works. And let me tell you something, right, about fan films. A lot of these fan films, especially the Bat in the Sun ones, they are 100 times better than the shit that we get in the live screens, in theaters. Alright? The official fucking movies are fucking shit compared to some of these fan films. And why are these fan films really fucking good? Because we have people who are fucking passionate. They know the characters. They're not sitting there at the end of the day with the studios talking about how they could, like put political shit in it, SJW bullshit. How can we please people by changing these characters gay or making this one a fucking man or a woman, or, well, basically the transgender bullshit that they're trying to push on us and shit. I mean, that's just basically how these things are. They're politics. These fan films, okay, they don't have that shit going on. They just want to do what all of us have been getting and wanting from fucking ages ago. Is a good fucking movie. Who gives a fuck who's fucking who and what the hell is going on, and fucking, yeah, let's just change this person to a woman, or let's just change this person to a man, or let's just gender swap, basically gender swap, and basically, like, let's race change this person and that person because we want to score some points. We want to make some more money. Well, you know what? You're losing the fan base. The fan base that will always go back to the movie theaters and buy the fucking merchandise for your bullshit. So that's why I prefer fan films over live action shit. That's been shit for a long time. Oh, right, and one more thing. Can't believe I forgot about this one. About how he called the John Watts films garbage, even after the director himself direct messaged him about how impressed he was with the trailer. That should fucking tell you something right there. That Gavin has more fucking talent in understanding how the characters work that were fucking trash in the MCU films, thanks to John Watts. And listen, why in the fuck would Gavin need to change his tune just because the director liked his trailer? Gavin would be a fucking sellout if all of a sudden he changed his tune simply because he got a message from the director who complimented him. Listen, look, if John Watts messaged me and says, hey, I love your YouTube videos, you think I'm gonna fucking change my tune about how I feel about him as a director in his Spider-Man MCU films? Fuck no! I say, yo man, thank you, but I really just don't feel as if you understand the character. And, like I said, look, you also have to understand the facts that Sony Pictures owns the Spider-Man character rights, which left Marvel Studios no choice but to improvise with the hybrid mix, garbage characters and story that cannot resemble, legally, anything from the previous Spider-Man films. So maybe it's not entirely John Watts' fault, because he did one hell of a fucking job on Spider-Man No Way Home, let me tell you, which is, I consider to be the best fucking Spider-Man film that's ever been fucking made. And, in a sense, I'm not going to be an asshole about it. I'm proud for John Watts that he actually made a Spider-Man film that everybody loved and made a lot of fucking money, and they find, see, this is what pisses me off, is that, well, it kind of pissed me off, but it kind of actually made me feel better, because now it's like, Spider-Man is responsible for the consequences of his actions, which is what should have been done in the first place, because in the first two films, it's like, all the consequences and actions were like out the fucking door. He got away with everything, and it's like, the whole with great power, great responsibility aspect went out the fucking window. So I'm glad that at the very end, it's like finally he's becoming fucking Spider-Man. But now what they want to do with the sequels, I'm not going to get into that. That was for my fan supporters only, but I'm really upset about what they're planning to do with the fourth film. But I gotta say, I gotta give full credit to Sam Raimi and Mark Webb for the success that that film had, because those are the characters that were very well written, and amazing villains, and it's just, everything was just absolutely perfect. So you know what, John Watts, I gotta give you the props for Spider-Man No Way Home, but I'm not gonna give you full props for that, because he basically rode on the coats of Sam Raimi and Mark Webb. Because let me tell you, if it wasn't for, the Sam Raimi and Mark Webb villains and also the other two Spider-Man characters, this movie wouldn't have made the amount that it did. It probably wouldn't be as good as it was either. Because what they originally had in mind was kind of horse shit. Anyway, look, I met John Watts myself. And I told him that I love the movie Clown. And that his style of work in that film reminded me of Sam Raimi. And that I couldn't wait to see Spider-Man Homecoming. And guess what? That was the first Spider-Man film that I fucking walked out of. Because I couldn't stand that film. And the part that I walked out of was when Zendaya says, "My friends call me MJ." Oh, fuck you. Because it was fucking devastating to hear. I already warned everybody for years that she was going to be revealed to be a version of Mary Jane Watson, which nobody believed me. And it wasn't fully revealed until Spider-Man No Way Home. And, when they revealed that her name is actually Michelle Jones Watson, but she doesn't go by that name. Why? It doesn't fucking explain anything. Who are her parents? We found out more about fucking Kirsten Dunst's MJ in the first fucking film than we did in 3 films for fucking the new ones. It's just, look, just hearing those words and how annoying and pointless her character was in the film and how they completely fucking shafted the actual love interest, Laura Harrier. And then they promoted the film with Tom and Zendaya when she was barely in the film. That fucking pissed me off because Laura, let me tell you, is 100 times more talented than Zendaya Kardashian, who obviously was forced on us because she's a Disney princess. Liz Allen was 100 times way more of a better love interest than Michelle Jones Watson. And like I said, 3 films in, you still don't know jack shit about her character, other than being an annoying, cringy, negative, anti-government conspiracy weirdo that looks fugly as fuck like a homeless person, instead of making her look attractive, which she is. And with the weakest and lamest on-screen character kiss I've ever seen in a Spider-Man film, in any film in general. It was like 2 babies kissing, 2 wet seals kissing each other's ass. It's horrible. Not only that, but she always plays herself in every film. Yes, and I've seen Euphoria and TV show, which is why I referred to her as a, Kardashian. She looks pretty, but no fucking talent. I'm not personally attracted to her, but she can look, hot. I've seen pictures. But, the way they made her look in the movies, ugh, the fuck. Also, who the fuck is attracted to that kind of person? So negative. It's just not attractive at all. It's the kind of person you just want to, fucking run away from, Well, you all know how I feel about every single MCU Spider-Man character, including Spider-Man himself, where they just practically took the names of the characters, slap it on the actors, and did their own major drastic changes to the original source material on each hybrid mixed character. And the only thing that was accurate to the source material that I give them props for was that Peter Parker actually made his own web fluid. And so did Andrew Garfield's version, because he actually, confirmed that in the Spider-Man No Way Home, although people thought that he was stealing the web fluid from Oscorp. I don't know. I'm glad they confirmed that, And, look, Uncle Ben wasn't even his main motivation for becoming Spider-Man, and Iron Boy, Iron Man was, and hence why he was referred to as Iron Boy Jr., which was even mentioned and made fun of in Spider-Man No Way Home in one of the scenes. You see a picture of the magazine. Wasn't into photography. Okay? Both versions of, Andrew Garfield and Tom McGuire, they were both into photography. They both worked at Daily Beagle, although he just got a message and an email for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And instead of the hilarious quips, which I gotta say, Andrew Garfield is like the perfect Spider-Man when it comes to hilarious quips. I laugh every time. Toby, gotta work on it a little bit, and he kind of lagged in it in the other films. But what about those hilarious quips that drive the villain so fucking crazy? And instead he uses pop culture movie references? Are you fucking kidding me? That's not Spider-Man. Being confused all the time, that really pissed me off. And not accepting and getting away with the consequences of his actions until the last fucking movie. What the fuck? That's not Peter Parker Spider-Man. You know who Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man reminds me of? It's literally a white version of Miles Morales that's best friends with Gank. No, I'm sorry, Ned Leeds. Ah, fuck, that's even cringy. What's gonna happen when they do the live-action Miles Morales movie? They can't do the same thing. They're obviously gonna have to make Gank different. Because literally, it's like Ned Leeds in disguise. Even the Ultimate Comics made fun of it at one point. And even that wall-crawling scene, that reveal, you know, where he finds out that Peter Parker's Spider-Man, where he drops a Lego on the floor, it's a complete fucking ripoff for Miles Morales comics. I mean, shit, even Gank is also a hacker, guy in a chair. You know, and he's into fucking Legos. It's the same fucking character, different fucking names. Yet these MCU Marvel apologists fucking sheeps accept this? What the fuck, man? I am sorry. But here's the truth. I'm gonna shove this down your fucking throat, alright? Is that if you accept these changes, then you're nothing but a bandwagon fake fan. Marvel apologists, fucking fake fan, fucking sheep. Bah! That's what you fucking are. Look, case in point, alright, I'm gonna end this real short right now. Said I want to see this fan film. And Gavin, if you're watching, which I know you're a subscriber on his channel, keep up the whiptastic work, and this whole bullshit will blow over once the film comes out. And, you know, if it is really good, you know, the fan film, which is what I'm hoping for, then you know what? You're just going to silence the haters with your greatness and never forget on what haters truly means, which is having anger towards everyone reaching success. Sorry for my rant. It's been a long, crazy day. I've been dealing with a lot of fucking psychos today who are just, oh God, it's like talking to babies. I don't know, man. Maybe they just didn't get their GEDs, or maybe they're just fucking with me and trolling. But yeah, I think I'm done with this whole fucking horse shit, and I just put my 2 cents into it. So until next time, on the Same Spider Time, Same Spider Channel, and Same Spider Place. Oh, and also for those of you who've been supporting and understand what I've been saying in my previous videos is actually accurate and true, and actually from the heart, okay? Thank you very much for your support, but unfortunately you just have fucking idiots out there who just have an intelligence level of fucking caveman. So that's just pretty much it. Spidey webbing out.
Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot.
Woo!